Hello and welcome to the Dev Diary report. Oh, hang on. We are having all sorts of problems here at the moment. We are having all sorts of problems at the moment. Try that one. There we go. Hi Pavel, how you doing? How's Warsaw? Not a bit too hot, I see. Yeah, I think my system needs a reboot. I've been trying to set things up for a long while today, and hence it's 6:15 already, about half an hour. And I've just noticed the bottom right hand corner of my screen telling me I have a Windows update waiting, and that's probably what's causing the problem, because I've changed no settings between now and whenever I was last streaming, which was yesterday, I think. So yeah. Hi everybody, Dev Diary number 10, game progression. So we're going to be doing the usual. This isn't a long one, although whilst it's not long, it's probably far more interesting than most of the others put together. So there's going to be plenty to talk about. Looking forward to... Hi there, Snoosby. The volume is acceptable. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anapu. Oh, the seventh dwarf. To the seventh dwarf. Wow, you watched it to the end. Bless you. Yeah. If yeah, no spoilers, but do check out my last tutorial. It is a long extravaganza of a tutorial, but I learnt a lot from it, and I think that's probably the main reason why I did it, because I needed to learn something. So yes, definitely worth checking that one out if you're a map maker. Right, so what have we got today? Game progression, as I've just mentioned a moment ago. This is probably more interesting than most of the other ones we've seen so far, because it's one where they haven't actually given us a huge amount of information already. Bits and bobs, but no huge amount of information. And it's what I'm going to call the game aspect of the game. Because up until now we've been interested in the technical stuff, the aesthetics, how well would it run, what's interesting. This is about the game, and I'm quite interested. And I think from what I'm seeing, not only does it look like they have basically improved upon the game, which is great, but they've also I think they've left room for a lot of extra expansions. The mechanics they're a really good solid base plate. So if we're ever wondering about which directions DLCs may be going in the future, game progression I think is going to be a big one. Big one. Anyway, so as per normal, I'm going to read what Vanya, the lovely Sam, has written for us. Released today at 6 p.m. Central European Time, 3 p.m. UK time, and wherever you are in the world at your time too. I'm going to read through it. I had a little sigh of despair as I was setting up today's show when I noticed, unfortunately, I was working 2 hours ago, but City Planner Plays as a video out. 22,000 views when I checked. It's not fair. All right? It's not fair. But anyway, good for them. Not so good for me. Hi there, Gerard. Not 22,000 views here would be great, but look, we can't have everything. Right, Pavel, I'm sure if they put their bet on expansions, because it's yes. Well, it's their paradox mechanic, isn't it? That's the one thing. It works for them, and but yes, I think CS2 might be a little bit heavy. We thought CS1 was heavy. I think CS2. I think the difference with CS2, and we're already seeing it. We already know what the path is over the next 12 months with expansions, and I expect once the final expansion comes out, they'll be saying the season's pass number 2. Buy it now. You can have all of these new expansions coming over the next 12 months. Drip feed. Whereas before now, we're sort of like, there's going to be an announcement. And they announce it, and then 3 weeks later, Mass Transit comes out. I think it's going to be slightly different, how they do all the announcements. But anyway, Welcome! Woohoo! It's time for another Cities Skylines II development diary. Today is all about game progression, which has two layers: milestones and development trees. As you might expect, milestones unlock new services, policies, and info views. Interesting, actually. New info views. I guess that ties in with the new services. Yeah, but the process of unlocking them is different in Cities Skylines 2. Development trees, an entirely new feature, exist for each service, and each new level of customization. And bring a new level of customization to game progression. Both systems are tied together as milestones, give you points to spend in your development trees, allowing you to unlock more advanced services. Our goal with this approach was to give you the freedom to create the city you want without requiring you to reach high population numbers or using the unlock all function. Very interesting statement, Nat. Very interesting statement. Yeah, I think obviously as a developer of a game, I'll finish the paragraph. If you want to build just a small town next to an international airport or the Chirpex Space Center, then you'll be able to do just that. So let's dive into the milestones and development trees. Yes, so our goal with this approach was to give you the freedom to create the city you want without requiring you to reach high population numbers or using the unlock all function. So if I'm developing a game, or if I'm building a map, there we go, I'm building a map. And I want to give you somewhere beautiful to build on, and I create this beautiful landscape, and then I see from all the screenshots when people are building their cities on my map, all of my beautiful landscapes have been demolished and flattened because what the players want is a nice flat buildable space in the middle of the map to build on. It's going to hurt. And I can see with that, I think hurt is going to be a bad phrase. But when you see people using the unlock all, if you develop the game to be unlocked and then you have people just bypassing it to get straight into building, yeah, I see coming up with a different approach to still have the playability whilst not having, you can work towards the unlocks that you need. I think that's interesting and different, and I like the idea of that. Where are we? Pavel. Building expectations over a longer time, getting people excited earlier, or also disgruntled earlier. It goes both ways. That may be a good direction because most people want to build and make them the city village work. Yes. Anyway, so we have the video all wired up, ready to go. If we just enlarge that to fill more of the screen. Again, I'm going to mute the video because the music will be copyrighted. There are definitely a few bits in this video that I think we want to go back and look at a couple of times. But we'll do that when we get to it. Anyways, so do we have captions? Captions on, auto-generated. City buildings, journey led by your creativity and ambition, so the decisions you make along the way reflect who you are to help you build a city. That's true to your City Skylines too. Blimey, that's really, really badly written. I'll leave that popping up. But anyway, it's all about milestones, okay? Milestones. Let's quickly pause. Let's get rid of that. So we have the tiny village, small village, large village, grand village, which point is a major milestone by the looks of it. Then tiny town, boom town, busy town, and big town. Big one being big town. Then a great town, small city, big city, large city. Followed by huge city, grand city, metropolis, and thriving metropolis. Then flourishing metropolis, expansive metropolis, massive metropolis, and megalopolis, big city, big city. Anybody seen Doctor Who with New York? Brilliant. Anyways, so yeah, that's all the milestones. For here, we're getting expansion permits. So we now know that these are the development points. So these allow you to unlock your development along the way, and these are the expansions. So this will enable you to buy new tiles. Interesting. I think the two icons are a little bit too similar. I understand. And also, they're in a hexagon. It's not a wonder some people got confused, okay? Why is it in a hexagon? Right, so we've got... once you hit level 12, you get 3.2 million in dollars, or Skylines dollars, or scholars, maybe. That you get 12 expansion points. So once I'm guessing that means, well, we'll see. It'll pop up in the screen in a moment. And then the tiles as well. 21 new tiles that you can use. And the loan limit is increased as well. So, and that is, that was the other thing. XP doesn't mean experience points. It means expansion points. That one hurt when I heard that. Right, carrying on. Moving along. There we go. There's your city. And those are the tiles being purchased. You can purchase the ones you want. They don't have to be connected. We know that already. And there's your development points used to unlock. And there is one of the unlocks being plopped down there. University, which you can, of course, expand with. There we go. Let's quickly stop on that one. So one of the development trees here that you're going to be... Once you get to a certain milestone, the basic service becomes unlocked. So here, basic education services have just become unlocked, whatever milestone we've just hit. Which means, I'm guessing, we get the elementary school and probably the high school, I imagine. So elementary and high schools unlocked at that point. And then we can use the development points to be able to unlock colleges and then universities. From universities, you can two development points will unlock the technical university. I'm guessing 2 for the medical, and then for the next tier, you would need 4 to unlock the radio telescope, or 4 for the geological research station. And we can't unlock the Large Hadron Collider. Oh, what have they done? What have they done? Right, the Large Hadron Collider is 8 further development points. So you'd be saving up your development points. You might go, well, maybe I don't want to go any further in the education. Maybe I want to put some development into my fire service. That kind of thing. So you can take the city in whatever direction you like. I like the idea of it. Like here, we've got 7 development points available. So we could, just off of this menu, choose one of these 2 and that one. Or we could look in one of the other development trees as well. Hi, Adara. And Dara Noonan. What a great name. I love your name. And Diego. Hi, Diego. Yes, leave a like, everybody. You know what to do. Okay, so we're going to keep moving the video along. There are definitely some places in here I would like to... there we go. You can unlock that for 2 points. There we go. Got that. This is the types of transportation. Oh, there we go. So the transportation sub-menu, development points. Looks like here we've unlocked most, if not all of them already here, which is good because they have no available development points left. Basic transportation services, which I believe is buses and taxis. And then you can go down to the ferries or to the trains, which will lead you up to the international airport if you want to do that. You've got trams, you've got subways, which link off of trams. So if you want subways, you're going to have to research your trams first, or unlock your trams first. Air is different from international air. Does that mean we can fly people from one side of our map to the other? That might be interesting, because that is very different from international air. And then Space Centre, because realism. Hey, old boar, good to have you along. Right, moving on. Airport there. There's your airport. Shortish runway, I feel. Shortish. Oh, hello. No, 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 no. You do not skip past something. You wait for me to pause. Right, so fire and rescue. Basic fire and rescue services, which I guess is just your main fire stations. Then we have your emergency shelter. For 1 development point, and your Firewatch Tower which I'm guessing is for 1. I can see, oh, you can see the pattern here. 1 development point, 2 development points double, 4 development points double, 8 development points. On each one, it seems to go up 1, then 2, then 4, then 8. Here we got a fire station. Apparently fire station isn't part of the basic fire and rescue services unlock. Ooh, that's interesting. So what does basic fire and rescue give you? I'd be interested to hear a little bit in the chat, because the basic services gives you the like transportation, buses and taxis has been confirmed. If we're not getting the fire station, what are you getting for basic fire and rescue services? Anyway, so basic fire, then small emergency shelter. I'm reading this out loud in case you can't see it on your screens. Then fire station or firefighting helicopter depot for the forest fires. We have a large emergency shelter, and right at the very end, the early disaster warning system. I'm imagining where you get one of these on the end, either path will unlock that one. So let's say we chose not to go for fire station, which would be stupid, but let's say we didn't, and we went up this path. If we unlock this, then we unlock this. Can we unlock this without the fire station, or do both of these paths need to be full? I'm suggesting that you can take either path to bypass these if you wish. I'll catch up with the chat in a moment. Moving on. Police and administration, while we're here. Apparently, we've got a little pop-up over here for transportation in-game. Well done. Well done, devs. Can we just take that back a little bit? There we go. So, here we have the basic police and administration services, which will include a police station, because it's not here. Coming down this way, for 1 dev point you get the welfare office. Cheap, very very cheap to put the welfare office in. I thought that was going to be a big ticket item. For 2 dev points, the police headquarters. I'm guessing that will give you more prison cells and well, more prison cells, I guess. What else would it give you? Then City Hall for 4, and the prison also for 4. Moving on to the 8, where you get the central bank and the Central Intelligence Bureau. They've really gone for it, I tell you. Moving on to transportation, which we've already seen. So thank you for showing us that one more time. There. Parks and recreation. Basic parks and recreation services. So I'm guessing that is small parks, because you see the word large parks up here. So small parks and small plazas, I would say. Park maintenance for maintaining the parks, keeping them tidy. Money going into that, I feel. But also, I imagine if you've got park maintenance, that will increase the the well-being that you get from the parks. So having that gives these a boost, I imagine. Large parks, because you want large parks, and sports parks, because you want sports parks. Then large sports parks. So does that come at the stadium, maybe? And tourist attractions are right at the very top. It's going to be interesting to see what comes under that. It could be ludicrous, or it could be very well balanced. I'd be interested to see. Right, and moving along. What have we got going on? Show me that have the sound there. There's a park, in case you're wondering. Having a little look. Okay, this is still going to be beta footage. The models of the figures don't feel massively progressed from Cities Skylines 1. They are definitely better. The ones in CS1 were very cartoony. But I don't know if I was expecting a little bit more from the actual figures. These feel like something straight out of The Sims, if I'm honest. My opinion. Although the movements, like the way this character here has turned their head, to look over at the camera, go woohoo, hello, taking your picture. And the walking mechanic, the walking animation was quite nice there. Now, looking at this, my first instinct is, anybody? I'll let the chat guess this one. That's my first instinct. My second instinct is the water texture. It's very gritty, very gritty, and I'm still not entirely convinced by the way the water transitions from water into land. But yeah, I'm still waiting for the chat to catch up. And guess what my first impression was? Thank you, Gerard. Yes, Gerard's spot on. Everybody does love one, don't they? Don't think it's a great bridge, honestly. I don't think it's a great bridge at all. I don't know what I was expecting, but I'm not won over by this. I'm not won over by this at all. Anyway, moving along. Oh, transportation. Basic. So yeah, who was that said something about the air? Lower level is just general aviation. What, gliders? Gliders and drones, right? I'll catch up with the rest of the chat in a moment. Moving on. What we got here? I'm not sure what they were talking about. We'll read the full script in a moment. So yes, unlock the trains, which means we now have access to trains. Nice model, very nice model of a train. Okay, air. Oh, the airport allows airplanes to operate from the city. The airport allows airplanes to operate from the city, which we've just unlocked. We've just seen that. But international airport, I don't know. Would the international airport be like a large airport, allowing for multiple routes for freight, possibly? I don't know. It'd be nice if we could have an airport on one side of the city and one on the other and have planes fly from one to the other. But I don't know what the real difference between an airport and an international airport is going to be by definition. Moving on. There it is. Or you could take the path to the Space Centre. The Chirpex Space Centre is both a space museum as well as an active command centre and rocket launch platform. These attract tourists and increase the effectiveness of industries and offices. But we don't have enough development points because we have 3. You need 8 for that one. Moving on. Basic electricity services. Right, so we're on to electricity now. Basic electrical services, I'm guessing, given that we've got gas, coal and nuclear down here, geothermal and hydro here. It's got to be wind farm and probably oil. So I'm not seeing oil listed. Probably. So basically, basic electrical services will give you probably something like oil and wind farms. Then you get your emergency battery station. That comes very, very early in the game. That's interesting and cheap. Well, cheap to have the development points. Just 1 development point required for that. Then you have gas power for 2, geothermal for 2, and hydroelectric for 2. For 4, you have the coal and the solar, and for 8, nuclear. I'm surprised. I am very surprised. I would have thought coal would be much lower down on the development tree. Given the choice between coal and gas, which are we going to want? So I think most of us want gas. And why do you need coal unlocked to access nuclear? It seems like a weird progression tree. I think this one needs some work. It's my first instinct. I've not given this any thought at all. My first instinct is This progression tree looks broken, but that's just an opinion. You guys have got the chat for that, which I will read all of them as soon as we get to the end of the video, which you can see we are about 1:40 from the end. Progressing slowly through it. Plenty on this one to digest. Oh, didn't quite mean to do that. Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. University provides adults with the highest level of education. And there's your university going down. And of course you've got upgrades as well. Currently click on upgrades to make things a little bit more fun. In fact, I think we probably skipped over that too fast. Let's have a little read if we can. So can be upgraded with an extension wing sports field. There's a car alarm going in the background. I don't know if you caught any of that. No, this is the high school apparently. This is the high school. I don't know what they've just added on the upgrade there. They've got 0% dropout rate. That's interesting. And apparently it only takes 14 months to graduate out of this high school. 14 months. Wow. There's definitely going to be some things. Also, the lane merge here. Look at that. It's a bit clunky. But there we go. It's early still. Right. So Grand Village gives you 1 million. Gives you 4 dev points and 6 expansion permits for tiles. 6 tiles. It gives you all of these bits along the milestones, which I know that you can read. Production panel, district creation tool, policies, natural disasters. Wow. So you don't get a natural disaster when you if you want to avoid natural disasters, don't check them when you're loading the game up. But if you have checked them, keep your milestones as low as possible. Because apparently if you've got a village, you can't have a natural disaster, because that's how natural disasters work, right? Okay, there we go. And the large city. Oh, there we go, going up through them. If you get to this level, you're getting 36 expansion permits for hitting thriving metropolis. Nearly 5 million in cash up front. 17 development points for getting to this sort of level. But again, remember, this is not population based, this is experience based, also expansion points based, which you get for maintaining population growth and happiness, combination of the two. Got to keep people happy. And a Legaopolis, that'll be your final 56 tiles. Once you hit this, you get 56 or more tiles, and that is you finished. 30 dev points. I'm assuming that fills out your entire development trees. 7 million up front, 4 million loan if you need the loan. All good. And achievements. Look at the achievements there, just waiting to be explored. Lovely. Right, that huge city. It's 13 development and 24 expansions. And there's a suburb with a downtown in the background, and there's a suburb in the foreground, and there's a suburb in the foreground. There's population increasing there. That's what that was showing. Here is another lovely view of how many expansion points you've got. There's another view because $2.20 can build a city. That there is popping down a thing. That was a thing. Okay, I don't know what that thing was. Let's see if we can work it out. Overlapping items. Overlapping items is interesting. What have we got here? Is this the school? Building built, it says here. Oh, this looks like a medical centre. Looking down the bottom here, we have the medical icon. So this looks like a small medical centre being plopped down here. There's putting down the roads to keep people moving about. The harbours look very nice. The big old bridge. Everybody loves the big old bridge. That's a better bridge. There we go. And we made it to the end. So that's the video. We have reading, but the reading is much shorter than last week. Was a lot of work. I finished the show with a headache. It was a nightmare. Before we go there, I did promise I would catch up on all of the chat. So let's have a little look here. Okay. Right. Right, catching up. So Diego, leave a like. We covered that. Dara, we said hello to you. Pavel, also once called a large hard-on collider. Yes. You go, Pavel, go sit in the corner and think about what you have done. All right. Okay. Oh boy. Hey, hi. I would pay another $90 for CS2 Advanced Trains DLC. Would you? Would you pay $90 for that? Okay. I mean, if you ever flew domestic in the US and compared the services to even Ryanair, the distinction makes sense. Well, there you go, you see. I've never been to the US. Very unlikely that I will, but, if I win a stupid amount of money on the lottery, it's possible. Or lower level is just general information. We just covered that. Big old bridge, yes. We have to wait for some nice workshop citizens. Yes. Yes, I'm sure we'll get some very nice ones. Thank you, Mr. Motorbike. Not too nice. Yes, I guess the international airport allows for bigger planes, just like it is now. Fair enough. Yep. I've got to be honest. Never recently used... I've got airports DLC. Never used the DLC. I got it for map purposes only. And there we go. Never really got that far into a city build to want an airport. Anyway, liking the idea of development trees though, it's not just about growing industries, population and offices anymore. Absolutely, Pavel. It's gameplay. It's gameplay. I like it. I like it. It was a little bit one-dimensional. There was always that with the early Civilization games where everything was one-dimensional. And now with Civilization 6, yes, it's still a degree one-dimensional, but there is more directions that you can take it to get to that end. I like that idea. Doctors. You mean Professor? Professor. He's not a doctor, he's a professor, right? Professor X's School for the Gifted. Could be. I hope one of the DLCs is futuristic stuff as well. I like new automated transportation modes, megastructures. That'd be nice. That'd be very nice indeed. One of the game scenarios, apocalyptic Texan power grid collapse, or otherwise known as daily occurrence. I think it's probable that I'll keep playing CS1. All for this. Oh yeah, I tell you what, Diego, it's a very valid way to go. To wait for 6 months. They're going to have plenty of buyers, and then there'll be plenty of bug reports, and they will work on those, and you can come in 6 months later to what should be a less buggy game. Should be. But got to support your entire population for 2 days with no power. Absolutely. All of them. Hi, howdy, RCN. Snoozeby smiling. Pavel, wonder bingo again. Thank you, Mr. Motorbike. More layers to the game attracts bigger audience. I'm with you. Right, okay. Let me do some reading from Vanya rather than you guys, but we'll catch up with the chat periodically. Milestones. In Cities Skylines, milestones were unlocked by reaching certain population thresholds, which varied depending on the buildable land of the map, and gave you one path to the next milestone. Build more residential areas. Yes, we know that. We know that. With Cities Skylines 2, we have taken a different approach. Each milestone is unlocked by reaching a specific amount of expansion points. XP. I'm sorry, that just hurts. Doesn't hurt as much as route instead of route, but it still hurts. But we'll let them have it, okay? Expansion points. But the thing is, you know that me and virtually every other YouTuber that will be doing Let's Plays will refer to XP as experience points. Just it will be. There we go. We'll try. Which are accumulated both passively and actively through building your city. Passive expansion points are awarded 16 times throughout an in-game day as a result of increases in both population and happiness. So if an in-game day lasts about an hour, wasn't it? 1 hour for a full in-game day. 16 times, that's what, once every 4 minutes? No, it's 64, but just under once every 4 minutes. It will, you'll get some expansion points for any increases in population and happiness, as well as giving a well-functioning city steady progress towards the next milestone. I see a potential exploit. I'll come back to that. Meanwhile, both expansion points are granted immediately as a result of actions that you take, such as placing or upgrading a service building, constructing a signature building, or expanding the city's road network. So, expansion points. If you are building stuff, you will get expansion points just for putting things down. If you're not building stuff, but people are moving into your city, or are feeling more happy about living in your city, you will get expansion points passively. If you want, expansion points. I put down a city park in the middle of the city. I get expansion points for placing the city park down. I then get a boost of happiness. I wait until I get my expansion happiness after 3 or 4 minutes. Was it every 3 or 4 minutes I said? Something like that. And then I delete the park. Everybody gets unhappy for a few moments. Now I place the park down again. Sirens to the BonBonB Bingo players. Oh, it's an ambulance. Quick, hurry to the hospital. Right. So you delete the park. It doesn't say anything about you lose your expansion points. And then I place down the park. I get points for placing down the park immediately. And a boost of happiness, because everybody was unhappy about taking the park. But putting it down will boost the happiness, meaning I get... that might be an exploit. Maybe. I'm sure they've thought of a way around it. But I also have no faith that they haven't, you know? Anyway, there we go. Right, we've seen these screens, so I'm just going to skip over these. We've spent some time talking about those. Milestone rewards. There are 20 milestones to unlock, from Tiny Village all the way up to Megapolis. How am I not able to say Megapolis? Megapolis. It should be easy. Come on, how long have we been playing this game? And each one grants you a mix of monetary rewards, development points, and expansion permits, as well as access to new city services, policies, and management options. As your city grows, you will need to answer more of your citizens' needs by providing them with additional services, such as public transportation and communication. You also gain access to districts and can customize areas of the city using policies. You can find more about these topics in the City Services Development Diary, which we have already covered. Oh, now that's going the other way now. Something's going on out there. Milestones also unlock new zone types to help your village grow into a thriving city, as well as more ways to control your city's economy through increased loan limits, taxation, and service fees. If you missed it, we covered these options in the previous development diary, economy and production. We didn't miss it, we watched it. Seems you live near a hospital. Relatively. As the crow flies. Mum was in there last year before she passed, and that was probably about a 20-minute walk for me, which I enjoyed the walk. It's not right on my doorstep. I'm actually close to the fire station. The fire station I could walk to in about 5 minutes from where I am. And as for the police services, they are on the other side of town. They used to be in the town centre, but they got moved to shall we say, the less nice area. Bless. Anyway, friends that live out that way, but yeah, they know what I mean. The number of monetary awards, development points and expansion permits increases with each milestone, enabling you to respond to your city's growing needs. We discussed expansion permits in maps and themes, which just leaves development points, so let's get into how they work. This is quite nice that they haven't actually just repeated the same things that previous Dev Diaries, they have repeated the same thing over and over. It became mind-numbing to read. It's glad that they've actually skipped over these bits. Moving down. Development trees. This is the stuff. Before I read this, let me just check the chat, see if there's anything really, really important going on here. One of the game scenario. We've read that one. Howdy from we read that one. Yeah, you won the bingo. So just the last one. Those sirens are firefighters. Thought that... No, they were ambulances. Both of those were ambulances. I was talking about... The question was, do I live near a hospital? And I live within walking distance of the hospital, but I live much closer to the fire station. That was the answer to that. We've got a delivery truck outside as well, so you might hear some diesel grumbling out there too. Right, okay, development trees. When you unlock a new service through a milestone, you only unlock its basic buildings and features along with its corresponding development tree, which can be found in the progressions interface. Here you can spend your development points to unlock more options, including more advanced and unique service buildings. Points can be spent as soon as you receive them or saved for later. That's me. I never spend anything. If you're not sure what you want to expand to next. So yeah, you don't have to commit to the development point straight away. Sometimes you might actually be thinking, right, maybe I can get a bit of a... Right outside my window now. Yeah, reverse up, will you? Get out of my line. Go on, off you go. So quiet, this area. You may want to unlock the wastewater treatment plant to avoid polluting your surface water. I'm going to restart. You may want to unlock the wastewater treatment plant to avoid polluting your surface water sources as soon as possible. Maybe you want access to harbours to benefit from the map's seaways. Or perhaps you want to provide your citizens with more sources of leisure with sports parks. As you unlock all milestones, you receive enough development points to unlock everything, but you choose the order depending on what your city needs the most. So this is actually interesting. So what are they saying? Are they saying that basically you have all the points, you can unlock them, unlock everything? That doesn't seem to make any sense to me. Surely you would just unlock everything if you have all the points you need. Surely you need some points withheld from you to force you to make conscious decisions. Be quite interesting. Each development tree is divided into different tiers and has a varying number of nodes to unlock. The first tier includes the basic buildings and functions of the service, and this node is automatically unlocked when you gain access to the service. As an example, when you first unlock public transportation, you have access to both buses and taxis, as well as things like stops and the line tool. The subsequent tiers offer more advanced options, which cost more development points to unlock, but provide you with new options. Some services, such as public transportation, have multiple branches with different options, and while you need to purchase the previous nodes on the branch to unlock the next one, you do not need to purchase everything in a tier to move on. For example, you can gain access to the international airport without needing to unlock water, tram or subway transportation, as long as you have enough development points to afford it. Now, this doesn't answer the question that I asked during the video. So, where are we? So, you can gain access to the international airport without needing to unlock water, tram or subway. But maybe you need air and train. Do you need air and train to have the international airport? Or can you skip the train? Doesn't say you can skip the train. I reckon you probably, from this, need both. Air and international. Air and train. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Right. And to have the space centre, you need to have an airport. It's simple. You cannot have a space centre without an airport. So some of these feel a little bit broken to me. A little bit. Oh, you've got an ad? Hang on. YouTube putting ads on my video. Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much. Please don't skip. I'll sit here and wait. We're all waiting for the ads to play, everybody. We're all waiting for the ads to play. I'll tell you what I could do with a drink. I should go and make a coffee. But that said, we're on the last paragraph. There's a point, actually, gaming. Yeah, it probably does include a train connection. That'll be awkward, not being able to use a train connection. Right, so how you choose to spend your development points shapes your city. Unlocking more transportation options early on allows you to integrate them as your city grows, while advanced power plants can provide your citizens with cheap and reliable electricity. We're excited to hear what options you prioritise and how that differs from city to city. Next week, we focus on the citizens of your city with the citizen simulation and life path. Think that again will be a little bit different from what we're used to. I always like to think my citizens had a life path in my city, but frankly, I don't believe they had anything at all. I think they literally existed for the just for the journey they were making. If there were, if Bob Smith lived in the Hawthorne residence, Bob Smith would go to the store. I don't think I would ever see Bob Smith again. Even if I sat outside his house and waited forever, I reckon there might be a Sue Smith or a Trevor Williamson or whatever. I just don't feel that Bob Smith was actually a living entity. He was just traffic. Whereas now, they really are genuinely, actually real things. In terms of our dev diaries now, we are getting very close to the end. We have citizen simulation and life paths next week. Sound and music, that's going to be a bit awkward for me to cover if I can't play the video, but of course the video is linked in the description, so you can go and watch that one with all the sound if you haven't already seen it. And then finishing with the cinematic camera and photo mode. So I think in terms of the city, we've seen everything now, pretty much. Although we do have the live stream coming from, I want to say Gamescom. It's not Gamescom, is it? But we have got a live stream coming from Paradox soon. In fact, this week. I don't have the date in front of me. It's very embarrassing. But we have got that. That will be interesting to watch. I don't think I don't think it'll tell us anything we don't already know. I mean, it'll be watching somebody play something that we already know. If you've been covering or following all of these dev diaries, you'll already know everything. Let me go back to that original video. I'm sure there was something else in this video that I wanted to talk about, but I don't recall what it was. So let's see. I mean, that looks nice. I like that. That actually, bear with me. Oh, goodness me. Thank you. I'm looking at that, and I am feeling Canada. There's something British Columbia about that to me. I'm probably wrong, and people are going to tell me it looks nothing like British Columbia. Probably right, but that sells to me Canada. That little scene there. So we have, what was it? I think there was something not technical that I picked up on when I was watching this first time round, when it was live First time live. I think it was actually just in... So yeah, here we are buying tiles. The map is... While we're here, the map is fairly uninspiring. Look at the tree painting. Splurge, splurge, splurge. A few splurges along here. It's the maps look pretty uninspiring. Looking over here, looks like we've got some tiles bought off in this direction already. I reckon this is the main city. I reckon is off that way from this part of the map. As I see boats there. I'm not sure where the harbour is along here. Probably some sort of harbour here, I think, maybe. But yeah, there's boats heading in. That bridge looks like it might be a bit low. So yeah, we've got all these smaller tiles. Bear in mind, a Cities Skylines 1 tile is about this size. Where are we? There we go. It's about that size. 3x3 is about the CS1 tile size. So smaller tiles mean that you can actually have a more believable city shape. I mean, no, in Cities Skylines 1, you'd have something like this, and you just have to live it. You'd have to live with this ridge. Whereas here, we could buy up into the ridge here, and not take these tiles, kind of like that. Of course, each of these has got the buildable area will remain well, not necessarily remain the same, because some will be mines with water and whatever. Fertile, oil, ore and wood deposits, as well as groundwater that's there as well. Okay, let's let that keep going. I'm sure there was something that caught my eye on the first fly through that made me stop and think for a moment. Oh, I remember what it was. It made me groan. It made me groan heavily when I saw it. I think it'll make you groan heavily when you see it as well, if you haven't already groaned heavily at it. It's so Cities Skylines 1. It's almost brain-numbingly Cities Skylines 1. We'll get there in a moment, I promise you. Maybe. Let me just skip through. Oh, wait. There's a big old bridge. Everyone loves a big old bridge. There's your rail. I'm skipping through this. Skip, skip, skip to the loo, my darling. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Aha, here we go. Here we go. Right. So, we're road building here. We've got a one-way road. They've decided to go over a one-way road. Not sure why. I mean, it seems like a weird choice, but good for them. And they're going to connect it down here. Now, look at the zoning tiles. We know that we can go 6 deep now, which is nice. I've got to be honest. Big fan of that. This zoning becomes a little bit awkward as it squeezes in. But wait. Bam. That is horrific. Look at this. Look at this. I don't know. I just don't know. Bring in game anarchy. Bring in move it. We need move it. Yeah. So, yeah, that caught my eye earlier. I thought I'd point it out and share it with you. Let me have a look back at the chat. Where have I missed? A wonderful content creator created city of nowhere. I wonder if a content creator created the city of no. The only nowhere I can think of is Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's spelt differently. Anyway, looks awful. Block away from his house. What is? Where are we? Hang on. Whoa. Hang on. I've skipped some stuff, I think. Wonder what causes, what changes were made to citizens that caused them to move that diary from today to next week. Hey, Who? Hang on, I'm confused. I wonder what changes were made to the citizens that caused them to move that diary from today to next. Have they swapped them about? I'd never noticed. Maybe there was. Or maybe the video wasn't ready to go. That might also be possible. Maybe there were some edits in the video, or an inaccuracy in the video, possibly. Maybe. Or maybe there are some changes. Once followed the sim who left work, walked almost the entire stretch of the city to his parked car, where his dog was waiting. Drove a couple of blocks, parked, and then walked with the dog back home. That was. Yeah, a block away from his office. Yeah, Pavel, that is just genius. Yeah, absolute genius. I don't know if that's going to happen so much in Skylines 2, given that they're talking about citizens value the proximity, and there'll be the points, as it travel points. I can't remember what the words are now. Not that it'll matter, but at the end of the day, if they live close to work, they're happier with that. So yeah, I'm thinking that'll be a lot different, and also without pocket cars as well. That might have been the problem for you there with your sim that walked the entire stretch of the city to his parked car. If you're playing with the realistic parking mod, that is probably because the game wasn't really designed for it. So yeah, but yeah, he's left his dog in the car. Oh, that's probably why he went back to the car, to get the dog. Anyway, looks awesome, I agree. Water seems out of scale. Yeah, there's definitely some work needs doing. Definitely some work with the water. Boring looking. Ooh, RCN. How dare you come onto this channel and speak honestly. We don't appreciate honesty on this channel. We've got to say all sorts of suck-up things, like it's the best game I've ever seen. No, that's not how it works on this channel. We tell the truth, we say what we feel, but we are also respectful, because it's these guys, their jobs, they're working with love and passion on their job, and we should be, supportive. But yeah, looking at these curved roads here, we do have the same zoning problems that we always had with, if you build a curved road, Skylines does not like it. Skylines does not like curved roads, which is really odd given that we're talking about a European, because we have a lot of curved roads in Europe. In fact, very few of them are straight. Very, very few of them are straight. So, want to do a big old grid city? Think you're going to like Skylines 2. If you want to do, I mean, look at this. 2 wide, 6 deep. That looks like it's the main thoroughfare. Maybe this is mine. This could be it. But that looks like it's going to be the main thoroughfare. I would want my zoning on here. Maybe 2 deep all the way along. Maybe 3 deep all the way along here. With a corner unit, and then maybe 3 or 4 deep coming this way. But instead, 6 deep, 2 wide. Can't get in close, can't get in close. It's going to look really clunky. Please, devs. This hurt me. Hurt me a lot. How dare you hurt me? Shouldn't be allowed to hurt me. Anyway, let's keep them from the chat. Still catching up with the chat. Where do we get to? So what if trees grow without planting? Ooh. Ooh. Good question. I mean, weeds do, don't they? Anyway, yes, gaming ages. I wonder if trees grow without planting. Maybe that's how we get those lush forests shown in some of the videos and screens. Maybe that's how we get them. Good question. I honestly hope it's an early water shader. Yeah, I mean, they've got 9 weeks, I think it is now. We're getting to the nitty gritty, right? We're getting to the nitty gritty with the game. When they first announced it and started these, because we're episode 10 now, so that was 10 weeks ago, which gave them 19 weeks. Well, a bit more than 19 weeks, because I think, when's the final one of these? And we're going to come back to the bottom again. bottom. Here we go. September the 11th, which gives them 5 weeks, I want to say. So we are, yeah. So we're 9 weeks. So 4 weeks, because it's a week to them, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We're probably about 8 weeks away, 8 or 9 weeks away. But when they announce the game, I'm coming back up here because this image is doing my head. Right, when they announced the game, there was, I mean, basically half a year for them to continue working on it, getting rid of the bugs, getting rid of the graphical issues, putting some flourishes in, and working on some better textures, working on some textures on the map as well, making sure just 6 months away from launching the game, plenty of time to get lots of stuff done. Now we're down to 2 months. I say I'm estimating 9 weeks. The final couple of weeks are panic weeks. That is where you can't get an awful lot achieved. You got to keep working, because the thing is, right up to the end, you want, but by the last couple of weeks, you want that pretty much ready to go with just some minor tweaks. So we haven't got we've got about a month to a month and a half of development time now, which isn't very long to be working on. I don't see this as something that they can resolve between now and then. I expect the new game will have this, and I don't like it at all. I mean, you could use the old tricks of demolishing the roads and then rebuilding the roads, trying to get the whole tiles how you want them, maybe, possibly. But yeah, anyways, where were we? Well, an option to disable, or maybe use the resource through painting. Wouldn't want my detailed corner to overgrow with weeds. Yes, unless it's actually weed. Well, whatever floats your boat, Pavel. Okay. Don't like that. I don't remember. I don't know what it was you didn't like. Probably this. I don't like it either. Nowhere is one of the cities shown in the videos. Oh, well, that'll be $2.20. They are responsible for the preview videos because they know what they're doing. Don't think they did. Excuse me. Some kind of dynamic grid would be awesome. Yes. If you have a light bend in the roads, the grid should bend nicely and follow. You would think so, wouldn't you? You would think so. And that was one of my early shouts. If you remember my video from a couple of years ago, 12 things I want from Cities Skylines 2. I spoke fondly about the mechanisms used by, you see them in Manor Lords, even though that's not released yet. And the game I suggested, which was, I've forgotten what it's called. That's really annoying. But yeah, the medieval, I think it was a medieval Ukrainian village simulator. Banished, I think, does something very, very similar, where you have parcels, land parcels. So if you put a house down in an area, the parcels would fill. And I don't think we're seeing that here. We're kind of seeing it with the zoning of the industrial. So that's quite interesting to see. I like this, but I don't know about this. Given also we don't know about how the detailing is going to work. And is there a move it functionality? I'm not seeing a move it functionality down here. And also, surprisingly, and I've just noticed this. Now I'm waffling. I've just noticed this. So we've got the pop-up menus, which are supposedly easier to navigate, but because I want to say easier to navigate, because if you choose your 2-lane road, you've got all the options along here for do you want it with trees, do you want it with bike paths, whatever. So you don't have multiple versions of this. You have one version that you can modify within the game engine, so that'll make it easier to find your way around. That's definitely a plus. But I'm still thinking some kind of find it mechanism where you can type in the name of the road or the tree or the house or the building. I think I missed that. But in terms of move it, I think it'd just be really cool if once you plopped down the large building up here, without even having a move it button to click, just to click on it and just drag it to move it somewhere slightly more aesthetically pleasing. If it hasn't, spawned in exactly the right location, I think that would be a big plus. I don't think we're going to see it now, which is a huge shock. As Move It was the thing that made City Skylines playable, along with Traffic Manager, I guess. If those are probably the two, right? Move It, Traffic Manager, throw in the anarchies, and you've got a game which is a lot of fun. We're back to vanilla. We're back to base game. We have to accept that here, but this is not good. Back to the chat. Where are we? Avania's post said that they've made changes to the citizens. Oh, bless, and moved the diary. Oh, good. Well, they say they're going to be working on them. Thanks, gaming. I did not know that. So, yes, they moved the diary about, shuffled it back. Makes sense. And some of the stuff that we probably heard earlier in one of the early diaries may be slightly obsolete now while they work on things and keep improving things. And fit the models appropriately. Pocket cars, yes, pocket cars were just brilliant. Great. So, I think, pocket cars is one of my favourite non-official terms from City Skylines. I don't know who came up with that, but I love it. It's just one of those that, like a plop. Yeah. So ploppable. Whoever came up with the word ploppable is a great Skylines word, and I'm going to hold my hand up, and I think Blue Mantle, a BonBonB special, that one. So yeah, Blue Mantle, ploppable, and pocket cars, I think, are great City Skylines terms. The farm in the area screen looks interesting, though. Yeah, custom shape. You zone it out like you would do with a district, and from what I can tell, you place down the hub building, which is not this. This building, I think, just spawns in. I don't think you actually manually place the operational buildings within the area that you zoned. These spawn in off their own, I think. Which, again, for the perfectionists in us that go, actually, no, I want that up against here, or I want that closer to my farmhouse. It might be, yeah, frustrating to some, but that's what mods are going to be about for, right? Oh crikey, I'm losing this battle with the chat box here. Farm area, right? RCN. It may also be an early beta. We do know that. I'm sure it'll look better when the game comes out. Absolutely, yep. We're making judgments on something that's very early. We're lucky to have what they're showing us. So I consider myself fortunate to have this, but there are definitely... I don't think that the tiles being staggered like this, I don't think this will be resolved. I'd love to be proven wrong. Unlike with hexagons, where I was very, very disappointed. Because I thought I was a legend, and I'm clearly not. Right. Pavel, gaming. A dynamic grid would be helpful in most cases. I wonder if there was another option other than the grid system. Oh, good question. I don't know enough about the Unity engine. But yeah, this is what happens when you have grids. If you have something that's not grid-like say, can't think of any other shapes. Yeah, but then do you have to have hexagonal buildings? Becomes the question. I don't know. Or should I say flexible? I can imagine issues with them fitting the wall-to-wall models. True. Well, wall-to-wall just doesn't look as crisp with the breaking grids. This is also true. Wall-to-wall models here are going to look awful. Right? And we have some really beautiful wall-to-wall buildings in the UK on curved roads. The most famous one that comes to mind would be in a old city called Bath, literally, or Bath if you're from up north. BATH. Very, very old. Oh, I say very, very old. Georgian, I think, possibly. And it's just wall to wall, and it's on a semicircle, and it is stunning. And we're not going to be able to do this vanilla base game or anything like it. Anyway, carrying on. Let me see what else we've got here. Wall to wall just doesn't look crisp. We've read that one. Does this mean that we won't be able to plot buildings from day one? It looks like zonable buildings. I would say no. I think in terms of zonable buildings, if you want a building in a specific place, let's say we want a 3x3 building here, zone the 3x3, leave a gap, zone a 3x3, leave a 3x3 gap, and then when these buildings are spawned in, zone in this. It's going to be faffy without mods. Don't like that idea much, but we listen. We're learning a new game first of all, okay? Every time I see Busy Town, oh please don't. Richard Scarry's books, especially How Things Work in Busy Town, popping. When you say Busy Town, or the first thing I think is, I've forgotten what the children's TV show is with the girl with the pink hair and Sporticus. Remember that one? I can't remember what that was called, but that's what I think when I hear Busy Town. I don't think plopping is happening besides the signature buildings. Yeah, but signature buildings and service buildings, much as what we're used to. Do we know whether the modders have early access? With the modders, what I know is that there are some modders on the development team. Classically, I've forgotten his name now. There was one of the big names was it McSurgy? I sorry if I'm naming the wrong modder here, but I know there was one of them at least that was actually employed on the team. I know there was another one a few years back. I cannot tell you because I'm not allowed to, but another one that was actually offered a part on the team, big name that you would know, was offered, but financially it wasn't worth them moving to Finland from where they were. They were in a reasonably well-paid tech job already, so they stayed where they were. But there's always that. You cannot always get everything that you want, you desire. I think it's not possible to make curved roads zones for buildings or home. How many divergent styles of building will you need? Yeah, there's a good argument, but there's always ways and means about them, JB Creative. There's always ways and means. If the modders are going to find ways, then I'm absolutely certain that the devs could have found a way. But there we go. Does anyone vehicles do a 360? A 360? I mean a 180. We know they'll do a 180 if a road is blocked. Why would they do a 360? On the roundabout. There we go. They'll do a 360 on the roundabout. If they go in the wrong way. You may be correct, JB. I'll wait for it to be a mod since I don't want to wait another 5 years for the game to come out. Anyways, Gaming Ages. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I hope we don't get that weird truck jackknife after they deliver products. I don't think we do. The simulations that I've seen so far look much better. But I've not played the game. I'm like you. I'm reliant on just picking apart videos and stuff and listening to other people. Maybe with plot building you can do like CS1 and put corner buildings. Yeah, but that will... Remember, we're starting off with a blank workshop here. So with Cities Skylines 1 we have thousands. I mean at least 4 or 5 buildings on the workshop. And it's going to take a while for the modders to actually get a decent size selection. So that's one of the main reasons I can see for people staying in Cities Skylines 1. Got a huge workshop to dip into and to create builds of your dreams. So I can understand why people will say, no, I'm staying with Cities Skylines 1. I can see it. McSurgy. Yes, it was McSurgy. Thank you. Where are we? I'm sure they'll work on Rico. Yeah, could be. I've seen vehicles do a 360 on the road. Seen one do it on a bridge. A 360. You know, a 360 is turning all the way around. So I'm heading north up the right. Follow my what we got here? Cursor on the screen. So I'm turning up here. In fact, the point of the cursor on the screen, on the screen, moving up. I'm doing a 180, and I'm going back that way. That's a 360. Why would anybody want to do a 360? The only reason I can think of, if we think of, if this is a roundabout here, this blue circle's a roundabout. So where are we? If I'm coming up here towards the roundabout, doing a turn around the roundabout, coming back down the road, that would be a 360. That's arguable, but I don't know why any vehicle would do a 360 on the road and then carry on. Very confused. Oh, is it a donut joke? So, is there a donut van? Donut vans will be doing 360s because they're doing donuts. I like the donut van and the one with the hot dog on top. Yes. No ideas and all that. But yeah, Mr. Bean did a 360 or 720 in one episode when he had to brush his teeth while in the car. Are you comparing me to Mr. Bean? And if you're not, do go and check out Random Five's YouTube channel. They have got a great BonBonB parody over there. They've got more than one. But yeah, great one involving Mr. Bean. I love it. Great work. Great work, Random. Right. I think 360 along the front to back axis. I've seen one from the opposite direction right over me on the free. Ooh, ow. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Well, I mean, we've got crashes now. We'll get 360s from crashes. So anyway, yeah, I think we've kind of covered everything in today. It wasn't as deep as some of the others that we've had, but definitely some points that wanted answering that we have been able to answer. And then we'll check out the Citizens next week. Should be fun. I'm probably going to be streaming a little bit of live map building. My map is coming along. I've done a little bit off camera earlier. I was going to switch straight over to map making, but unfortunately, like I say, I think that my system needs a restart because I couldn't actually share the screen, which was frustrating. So there we go. So yes, anybody wants to see a little bit of map building, I'll be up in within the hour, I imagine. Depends on how long the update takes to sort itself out. Diego, this is an odd question. Anybody knows if there is a monorail station that can be placed on a highway? What, Cities Skylines 1 you've got to be talking about, haven't you? Good question. Anybody? Anybody know of a monorail station on the highway? I do not know. Is the answer to that. Just do a search and a scroll. Why would you want a monorail station on the highway? I mean, monorails, you can't stop on a highway. It's bizarre. There you go. What are you doing? Stop drinking the stuff, okay? Stop drinking that stuff and smoking that stuff and injecting that stuff and whatever else you're doing with that stuff to get it into your system that requires rubber gloves or anything like that. Stop doing it with that stuff, because it's definitely when I'm making more coherent statements than you, then you know something is wrong, okay? Anyway, I'm gonna go. I will be back just as soon as I can with a little bit of map building. There was a little bit of work off camera which I want to show off. Some very nice detailing, a little bit of detailing on my map that I think you'll appreciate. So looking forward to that. The Hyperloop. What? There's going to be monorail tracks and stations that can be placed over any road. Yeah. Oh, over the highway. Oh, it's got to be doable. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to go. Have a great one. Thanks, everybody. I don't have an outro, so if you haven't already hit the like button, now is the time to do so, because there's nothing else to remind you between now and the screen going blank. And I'll catch some of you a little bit later with the map making, which will be a bit of fun. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome. I'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.